new face. Come on in. Welcome to Clocktown Capitol Investments, your place for intelligent investment options, strategies, and purchases. How can I help you? Looking to get established with some investing portfolios, some asset management, and wealth preservation. Well, you've come to the right place. We are the premier destination for all of those things in Clocktown and, well, dare I say, all of Termina. So, please have a seat. We will just need to go through some basic introductory paperwork, get some information about you. That way we know how to best serve your needs. All right, can we get you anything while we wait? A beverage, a refreshment, anything like that? No? All right, well, let's go ahead and get that paperwork. I'm going to go ahead and get a few pencils out. That way we can expedite this process. This pencil will be yours. Please use it to fill out any of the information that we have. Here we are. Have you been in Clocktown for very long? Are you new to the area? Oh, really? So just a newly minted resident. Excellent. Well, like I said, I haven't seen your face before, so usually I get to know most of the residents except for a few of the more unsavory individuals, but you look like you could be quite the success story for an investment firm like this one. Of course, Clocktown Capitol Investments, we were established by the mayor's lineage himself, so we have been in business as long as Clocktown has been around. So I think we have anything that you possibly might need in terms of investments. Let's go ahead and get that name. All right. And last name. Okay. Interesting. All right. And residence, where exactly do you reside in Clocktown? North, east, west, south? South Clocktown. A wonderful area, bustling. So if you enjoy the festivities and hustle and bustle of the townsfolk on their daily errands and menial tasks, then I'm sure that area will suit you perfectly. Have you seen any of the builders setting up for the upcoming festival? You have? Well, it's quite busy in that area this time of year. And with that said, what is your occupation? These details are important because we need to know what sorts of investment options to pass on your way, and we don't want to give you an option that's far above your means or far below as well. Adventurer. All right, well, that can go either way in terms of capital assessment and availability, liquid funds, things like that. Adventurers are, well, they tend to either outperform the market with found relics or powerful items or mass amounts of rupees if perhaps you like to delve into dungeons or temples, things like that. But on the other hand, if adventurers happen to befall some, or I guess have some negative situations befall them, then sometimes their funds can be quite minimal. So that will go into our account of your risk assessment. So credit score. Okay, so a higher end. Excellent. So we'll do a 6 estimation. Okay. So I'm going to put your risk rating at we will go a 6.2. So moderate. The adventurer occupation does carry with it some innate risk and opportunities for losses, but also opportunities for extreme wealth accumulation as well. So not a bad outlook. All right, well, now the next thing that we need to establish are your goals for investing. Are you looking for more long-term wealth accumulation and compound interest growth on your initial principal investment, or are you looking for more of a short-term area to park your wealth or protect your investment in to get past environmental calamities or economic turmoil, things like that? Right, I'm sure you've seen the recent status of the moon, but we are assured by our government operations here in the Clocktown that it's nothing to worry about and shouldn't affect the market all too much, even though we have seen a bit of a bear market in just a few of the sectors, but shouldn't affect us too much. So back to the point, are you looking for more long-term growth or short-term protection of your funds? Okay, so maybe a bit of both. Okay, I'll put that down. A bit of both, so we will try to get some options that have a bit of diversification, diverse fund allocation. Are you looking for a particular sector to invest in? Are you wanting to invest in technologies? I know the observatory has made some interesting observations as of late. We could also go for the defense sector. I know that the King's Royal Guards are currently looking for budget increases, things like that. Nothing in particular. We could also delve into real estate. It's always a safe place to keep your funds here in Termina. Okay, so you do have a bit of interest in real estate. Okay. We actually do have some exciting options that might be interesting to you in South Clocktown there. We'll get to that in just a moment. Okay. All right. I think we should have a few things that might interest you. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get that paperwork set to the side here and sent off to the office there for safekeeping. Now, let's go ahead and give you some options. I'm going to start with that real estate option that I mentioned before. I do have an exciting opportunity. Where was that? We had a recent real estate investment opportunity come available in South Clocktown that I think you might find intriguing. Ah, there we are. Now, this is more of a long-term asset management option here. So this real estate option would be a perfect scenario for you if you are looking to invest in long-term growth of the economy and the health of the Clocktown infrastructure as a whole. So if you would like to get involved in the real estate market, this might be the perfect opportunity for you. Might I present to you the town title deed? Now, this, as you can see, is backed and guaranteed with the official Clocktown seal, meaning that any of the purchases and deeds are officially recognized by the City Council and Zoning Board. So you are protected from any future changes to the zoning laws or anything like that. So this would be a perfect situation if indeed you are looking for a bit of a safer option for investing in the real estate market. Of course, you could go for a bit of a riskier option and go for a investment into the futures, which involves building of housing and developments and suburbs around the outskirts of town. But those can come and go and fall through, and as sound as a plan might seem, it sometimes doesn't come to fruition, so those investments can result in a loss. A safer bet is a pre-existing property with known property value protected by the City Council. So let me go over some of the details of the town title deed. This, of course, is a deed to a property here in Clocktown. Location, South Clocktown. When you indicated that that is the location of your residence, I thought of this one immediately because it's something that's affordable as an investment property, not something that you need to have as your primary location or residence. So it's perfect for someone like you who's already settled in South Clocktown there. The sellers are the Business Scrub Incorporated Group. They are a group of scrub investors that buy up property in multiple different provinces and within Clocktown itself. And they are looking to offload a bit of their properties. I have heard that they are looking to invest further off into the lands of Hyrule. So, as you, I'm sure, are well aware, the Hyrule prices and markets are a bit inflated. So, they're looking to liquidate a bit of their capital here in the real estate and terminal. So an opportunistic person such as you, I think, might find this very beneficial to your portfolio. The property description is a yellow deku flower, so it does come with access to the airspace above it. Although a small amount of airspace, it's still very useful for those air travel moments. The property valuation is valued at 200 rupees, so a decent return on your investment because the sellers are only asking 50 rupees currently. They've had it on the market for quite a while, so I think you can see the benefits to owning this property, and it's something that I don't want to push you too far in that direction, but it's quite a good deal. Now, let's go over the property tax information. Since your property, or your potential property that is, does lie within the city limits of Clocktown, it does have some property tax and fee implications that you need to be aware of. The largest of those are the 7.2% town tax rate. Now, the Clocktown tax it taxes all of the properties in the city limits, and it goes towards things like roadways and upkeep of the government buildings. Of course, the individual property upkeep is left to the individual. I know. But also things like getting the school up and running and having the backing of the local infrastructure and economy itself. So an important part of our day-to-day living here in Clocktown, but quite expensive at times. We do have a 3.3 airspace tax, unfortunately, since your Deku flower does come with the ability for air travel and almost like your personal takeoff point, and you are taxed accordingly. So just be aware it is a bit more expensive than just an additional or an average property without the airspace involved. We also do have a 2.5 region tax, and that is the tax for the terminal region itself. This is reimbursed to some of the local outskirts provinces, such as Stone Tower, and things like the Great Bay, and keeping the various temples up and running. So a bit of everybody pays their fair share sort of situation we have going on here. So those are the tax implications. So they do add up and compound just a bit, but they hopefully are offset by the property value and accumulated wealth over time that you can see with property like this. So what do you say? Is this something that might interest you? Like I said, the asking price is 50 rupees, so quite cheap, and the property evaluation is already at 200, and it's safe to assume that this will only increase over time. Right, it's not like they are coming up with new property every day here in Clocktown. It's quite hard to get. Okay, perfect. Well, I will set that to the side. We will get some of the information and signage that we need a bit later. So we do have payment with you, I'm assuming, for that property. 50 rupees, excellent. All right, perfect. And we do have a purple 50 rupee here. Excellent. I always love when someone pays with exact rupees. And before we get too far into the rest of the appointment here, I do want to let you know that our mayor has recently passed a brand new ordinance that is phasing out the single green rupees, the ones that are valued at 1 rupee. So please, if you do have green rupees that you are wishing to use, we will have to round up to the nearest 5. So, right, I know, a bit of an inconvenience, but such is the way of government. But let's go ahead and get you onto that next investment opportunity. Since you are interested in a bit of diversification, I would like to offer you an exciting mutual fund that has been gaining steam over the last several years. Here we are. This is a fund that carries just a bit more risk than the real estate investment that you just bought into. This is a mutual fund, meaning that we have multiple different conglomerates and things like that that buy into the same fund, and you will be paid out dividends, and hopefully your investment, your initial principal, will grow over time. So this could be used as moderate to long-term growth. It's not as effective for short-term investing. We'll get to some of the certificates of deposit here in a minute, but this would be great for long-term, maybe a retirement growth, or maybe a moderate to a bit more lengthy than moderate growth for compound interest and things like that. And the dividends can be quite lucrative. So let's go ahead and cover this. This is the United Builders Mutual Fund, I'm sure, right? They're in South Clocktown. This is another reason that I thought of this fund immediately. Since you are a resident of South Clocktown, then you have no doubt seen the builders thing, right? The builders union there is always active, since it is the locale for all of the local festivals and a lot of the shops, things like that. So since you are a local resident of that area, you might feel like investing in the local stocks and funds that are available and operate in that exact area. And it allows you to kind of keep an eye on how things are going and maybe inform your investing options just a bit more. So let's go over some of the details of the United Builders Mutual Fund. As you can see, the ticker is UBM. So if you are wanting to purchase additional stocks in the future, this is what you will use if you want to just purchase them, with a more of a smaller brokerage firm or anything like that. But the current market price is valued at 40 rupees per share. The red indicates that we have seen a slight decline in the recent days. As you can see, the previous day's close was at 41 rupees per share. So we are 1 rupee down from yesterday's close. Of course, this is only traded once per day at the end of the day. So just keep that in mind. If you do have a substantial dip during the day, you will only be able to close out that account at the end of the day. We have a historic risk evaluation as a medium, meaning that we have seen some steep climbs, but a few steep falls over the course of this mutual fund's existence. But like you can see here with the 5-year return, and that indicates the return of the previous 5 years, has been a growth of 60%. So it has been quite lucrative to those who have invested over the last 5 years. Let's go ahead and cover some of that 5-year history in more specific detail. As you can see here, 5 years ago, the average price per share was at 25 rupees, so quite cheap for those who got in early. They have become quite wealthy, especially some of the larger backers. The second year average price per share was at 30, climbing again in year 3 to 50, and then spiking in year 4 at 75. This was right around when word got out that the festival was going to be scheduled for Clocktown, and we were going to get a large boom in business with the United Builders Fund when they were able to secure the bid on the building of that festival. Now, unfortunately, this year we have seen that steep decline. Now, this is that temporary fluctuation and volatility of the market due to the moon situation that we discussed earlier. So we do expect this to rebound quickly. We have a few reliable adventurers that are looking into this as we speak. So we are hoping to see this climb and shoot back up to more of this average kind of price. The high point, we're hoping to even surpass that within the next year or two. But as you can see, the trend line is still trending up. So, and even with the 25 to 40 increase, that's that 60% increase that we discussed earlier. So still quite lucrative, and lucky enough for you, since this is the moment that you've decided to go ahead and invest, you could buy the dip, as they like to say, and get in at this 40 rupee per share price point. So if indeed as we estimate, we do see a rebound after the issue with the moon is resolved, you could see a quick return on that investment. So unfortunately, those who bought in at that 75 rupee per share price point have really seen the squeeze of that dip there, but you could benefit. So this might be the absolute perfect time to buy, since it is the lowest price point in 2 years. Excellent. You would like to go ahead and buy in. Now, let's go ahead and discuss share options. How many shares are you looking to purchase today? All right, so you just want to get a bulk sum. Perfect. Do you have the amount of payment that you'd like to allocate to this mutual fund? Okay, excellent. All right, and 100 value rupees here. Quite impressive. So we do have 4 100 denomination rupees here. These silver rupees are quite beautiful to behold. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is a total of 400 rupees that you would like to allocate for the United Builders Mutual Fund, UBM. So 400 rupee investment. And I'll get this sent off to our accountants in the back. They'll get that purchase input. Of course, that won't go through until the close of the day. So the price that you'll be locked in is that 40 rupee per share. So you don't have to worry about any fluctuation. Even if that moon was to randomly fall out of the sky, your price would be locked in still at 40 rupees per share at the end of the day. So we will go ahead and lock that in. I'll make a note. All right, and that 400 rupee investment will get you 10 shares of UBM. So 10 shares at 40 rupees per share. All right, and just a quick signature right there. Sure, just on that line. Thank you. And we will get this filed away as well. Once again, I will get that to our accountants in the back as soon as we are finished here. Let me go ahead and store these rupees for you. Right, we have our Dodongo skin hide, or hide skin bags here. They are the premier and the default way to store rupees at any of the establishments here in Clocktown. Since they are fireproof, of course, it protects your rupees from any sort of accident or anything like that. All right. Now, the last thing that I'd like to show you and give you an option to look at is sort of a short-term investment. We have several options, but all on the shorter end. So you, like you said, did want to diversify a bit in the length of time that you were looking to invest. So I do have some certificate of deposits that are available to be purchased. And these, as you can see, are backed once again by the City Council and Mayor's office here with that official seal of Clocktown there. Now, these are deposits that you make here to the investment firm. We hold your deposit and we utilize that money for various different investment opportunities and purchases that we need. And we, in return, guarantee you a fixed growth percentage annually for your initial principal or initial deposit, and then when we pay and return that deposit to you, we then also give you that accumulated growth in the designated percentage. That's what the APY means. It means annual percentage yield, which means how much your initial principal is going to grow for that time. Now let's go over the term options that we have for you. We have a 1-year term, which means we utilize and hold your money for 1 year and then return it for you, or return it to you rather. That has the lowest APY at 3%. So if you are looking for just a quick and very temporary place to park your money, that would be a good option. We also have a 2-year term, which is slightly better at 3.05% APY. Now, if you want the excellent value, we have a 5-year term, which means it takes 5 years to mature, and then you get your principal returned to you. You are unable to get your principal back before the maturity of the term, so please be aware that the funds will be unavailable to you until that time. At the 5-year option, we have a 4.00 APY, which is quite substantial. But if you are looking for the longest form of your short-term investment, the 10-year has an absolutely excellent percentage APY of 5%, which that's going to be tough to beat and definitely cannot be beat here in Clocktown. I have heard that a few of the terms in Hyrule offer a 15-year term at 6.5 even percent, but like I said before, it's going to be offset by the cost of living in Hyrule itself. So would you be interested in purchasing any of the certificate of deposits? You would? Excellent. Okay. And which of the terms are you interested in? The 5-year term. Excellent. So we will just get your 5-year term. We'll lock you in at that 4.00 APY. And how much initial principal would you like to deposit today, or purchase your certificate of deposit, or CD as they are often called? All right, allow me. Excellent, excellent. So we have, we do not see these very often, the 200 denomination rupees. So we have 200, 400, 600, 800. These golden rupees are beautiful. You most definitely are a successful adventurer, so we might even be able to lower that risk rating even maybe to a 4.8 or 4.6, since you have proven yourself with a lot of liquid capital. We also have 220 denomination rupees, 20 and 40, for a total initial principal of 840 rupees. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we have 800 rupee initial principal. All right, as you can see there. Now, all I will need you to do is sign here under the signature of purchaser, the date, and then I, the notary, will sign and date as well. So please sign. That's right, there and there. Yes, the date. Thank you very much. And notary will sign. This will authenticate the purchase. And date. Excellent. Well, I congratulate you on your investments this evening. I know you won't be disappointed, and you, my friend, have just set yourself up quite nicely here in Clocktown for years to come. Well, I have very much enjoyed this appointment. Please do come in any other time that you have any investment opportunities that you are interested in, and we would love to do more business with you. And hopefully I see you at the upcoming festival. Excellent. Well, welcome to Clocktown, and welcome, more importantly, to Clocktown Capitol Investments. It's been a pleasure. Please take care.